Wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of your life. That's not me, that's Rumi. So this is something for me, gratitude. You could even say that I've taught gratitude for several years. But this story that I'm sharing with you tonight actually occurred at the beginning of this year, and it changed my awareness and my perception and my experience, my direct experience of what gratitude actually is. Not just a concept, not just a word, but a deep feeling, an energy, a vibration. And that's how Andy kicked this all off, is sharing that vibration. So for me, you heard that, I'm here kind of representing the Tamarindo Writers Group, and this was This was a beautiful morning in Tamarindo at the beginning of this year, and I'm walking kind of south on the beach. I have the beautiful ocean to my right, kind of like trees and parking lot to my left, and I'm walking with my sweet little dog, Leela. She's a 7-pound Yorkie, very intimidating. And it was early, maybe 6:30 a.m. And I'm going, I'm feeling healthy. I'm going to meet with my trainer in a few hours. It's the beginning of the year. And I look up and I see my friend Pablo standing up there. Pablo is a Tico in his 20s, young kid, kind of bigger, big curly hair, full of life. He and I kind of randomly met and just kind of kicked it off. We have the deepest conversations about philosophy and life. And I see him up there, and he waves me over and says, "Hey, bro," and I give him a big hug. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, walking with my dog, my morning walk. He goes, "I'm about to light this joint. You want to join me?" And I said, "It's early. I'm going to meet with my trainer soon. I'm going to the gym." Well, of course. Of course, I would love to smoke with you, as long as you don't mind walking with me and my dog down the beach while we smoke. He says, "No problem, bro." So we're walking down the beach, talking as we usually do, and getting a little stoned, and we kind of stop, and he's like, "Yeah, I never told you this, but I was in prison." And I said, "Really? What? That's incredible. Like, how long and what for?" And he's like, "Yeah, 3 years." And I said, "Wow, for what?" "Selling drugs." And I said, "Man, that seems like crazy. Like, that must have changed you." And he said, "Actually, it was the best experience I ever had." He said, "Well, first of all, it taught me to enjoy all the things that we're talking about, reading all these books, Power of Now, Four Agreements, kind of philosophical type of things that changed his life, as did mine." And he said, "But really the biggest gift that it gave me was, if you spend some time," and I want you all to really think about this, if you spend any amount of time where you're not able to look at the sky, this is what he's telling me, you're not able to look at the sky when you want. You're not able to choose what food you're eating. You don't have the basic things. You don't have the basic freedom of choice that we have every day in our life. And as he told me that, as I'm telling this story to you, I got goosebumps. And I said, "Holy shit, I didn't even look out at the ocean today. I didn't really look at the clouds or the sunrise or notice, my dog's smile or the beautiful green mountains in the distance." And we just kind of kept talking about that, and I was vibrating already, like I am right now, just vibrating at a higher level. And we finished our walk. I said, "I'm about to sit and meditate. I'd love for you to join me." He says, I've never meditated, bro. Like, what is that?" He goes, I said, "Just sit, I'll guide you." We sat, we did a short little guided meditation, with the waves rolling in, beautiful Tamarindo morning. He comes out of it, he says, "Bro, you just changed my life forever." And I said, "Pablo, goes both ways, because you changed my life today too." And as I'm sitting there, feeling so good that I was able to share with him and he was able to share with me, it just showed me the power, the magic behind true appreciation. Not the concept, not the word gratitude or appreciation, but the deep feeling, the higher vibration. And for me, for years, I feel like that was lost in translation. I knew it as a concept, but I didn't know it in my heart as that deep sensation, a source emanation. And that's kind of my wish for all of you, is to feel that appreciation too, to feel that it's your creation. You get to actually experience that as you tap into that. And that's something I hope you take away from this. It's just that feeling, not the words I'm saying, but what it feels like to have freedom, what it feels like to do the things that we want to do, to come to events like this and to share in our mutual vibration. So I appreciate you letting me share with you, and I hope you take a little bit of that with you today.